Da da da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple of minutes to get those notifications out. In the meantime, if you've never popped into one of my lives before, hi, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside. And one more. Happy Halloween, ladies. Happy Halloween. I'm off to work and I want to represent a holiday that for myself was pretty difficult. You know, as a child, I had a hard time knocking on doors, strangers' doors, and trick or treating. I had a hard time knocking on people's doors and saying, "Oh, would you like to hear a Christmas carol?" These were things that we did in the 70s to earn money to buy Christmas presents as kids for our parents, right? And we were entrepreneurs, all of us in our family, my dad, my mom, whatever, right? Whatever had to be done was done. Also, as a child, I used to go with my mom because at one point, right, she loved God. She did, but she wasn't quite sure. She wasn't quite sure what denomination of Jesus and God that she was. And we know there's all different denominations within Christianity, right? And she did belong to the Jehovah Witnesses at one point. And I remember as a little, very small, my kids I'm carrying, right? Like we were young. And my mom would be on one side of the street and I would be on the other of the street with my sisters, and we'd be knocking on the door, or she'd be on the other street with the baby, which was my sister Carolyn, and the rest of us would be on the other street and knocking on doors, asking people if they wanted to hear about Jesus, right? And people were mean. Oh my goodness, right? Where's your mom? Throwing things at us, letting the dog, right? Pretend that the dog was going to attack us. And just, you got to see some parts of people that wasn't the everyday, day to day. You go about your day, you're not getting smacked in the face constantly by people's bad days, or you interrupting a moment, or their beliefs, or you're just the last Jehovah Witness that knocked on their door and they decided to give it to you for all the rest. Being a child, you couldn't defend yourself. Every once in a while, we get a yes, and mom would run across the street, right? But I have these tendencies to, right, not want to be surprised by what's behind a door. It's part of my trauma. It's part of, right? It's part of my problem of not being able to ask for myself, that I'm out there doing it on my own. And I'm not. I've chosen my mentors, and it's a great example to people that they can do this by themselves if they truly want to, even if they're just doing it for themselves, right? It took a year for me to come in front of the camera, right? But every time you do, you get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And it's not like I don't flubber or misrepresent or fail myself. I do it all the time. But I am grateful that I can go in and I can recognize where I make mistakes. And I may make that same mistake 20 times, 50 times, 100 times. I might not ever get it, but I recognize that. And it was something that I learned from my father, that I could hide these things, and not necessarily hide them, but to make them not so stand outish. You know what I mean? That I could learn to move within groups and networks, and right, make friends at work. And that was a lot of that was, right, not sticking up for myself, turning the other cheek, right, being the first one to let go in an argument. And that's a beautiful feeling, because somebody's got to give, and We live in a world of stubbornness and narcissism and controlling, right? And people who don't know how to say sorry. But it's a beautiful thing, when that one person can recognize that this isn't going to go anywhere unless somebody steps their foot forward first. And, right? You say sorry, and almost always it's like a dam breaking. And, right? I have made best friends out of enemies, and that is the truth. People who would stand up for me in anything, who always had my back, but in the beginning they had my jugular. And that's the truth. And sometimes it just takes time. I'm trying to do this genuinely so that I can bump into people that are like me, or, right, be able to put myself out there in social media and have people discover me, discover my ideas, discover my thoughts. And it's not like I'm doing a song and dance to get anybody's attention. It's just I'm delving deep. I'm picking things up. I don't feel that ceiling, and I feel that responsibility, that if I can understand it and I can show up here, that isn't that a little bit of give? Isn't that giving of something? Isn't that worthy of being seen? Right? Not seen because again that song and dance, but hi, I'm here, right? Like, I matter too, right? These thoughts, unless they're shared, nobody's going to know them, right? And they might be just the thing that somebody needs, because I know myself and I know they were just the things that I needed in the moment, right? I'm grateful for the job that puts the roof over my head, right? So grateful. It's a tough job. I'm right. I'm still recovering over dollar days. Thank goodness it only comes twice a year. But we have the little ones that are just as bad because they can't tell the difference between the little ones and the big ones. But I'm feeling it, right? I've had 3 days off and my arms are still sore. My soul is still a little sore, right? Cindy's a little bit, right? And I just got off of holidays and that. But I'm grateful for the job that puts roof over my head because it allows me to do this, right? And it's up to me and my choices, right? I want to be happy in all aspects of my life because I'm a shiner. If I'm shining, wow, right? And I've seen that, right? And I don't always recognize it when it's there, but when it's recognized, that's when I recognize that it's there. And again, that's an amazing feeling, right? So grateful for the job that puts over my roof over my head. Going to celebrate Halloween with my Halloween dress with all my spookies and pumpkins and spiders and bats and stuff on it. Right? I'm going to have a nice day. Right? No matter what I step into. Right? And just be the evidence that it works. Right? So if somebody else wants to give it a shot, I don't know. Right? Mother Teresa said that a smile is an action, right? Maybe we can start with that. You guys, I have to run off to work. I just wanted to pop in because I have house projects that I'm deep into. I know I don't know where it came from because it wasn't there a couple of days ago, but it's there now. It might not be there tomorrow. So I want to get on them. So I'm leaving my few dusting, cleaning projects, organization, redecorating, whatever you want to call it, right? For tonight when I get home from work. And in order to have a little bit of energy to get that done, I am going to whistle through it. You guys, happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, you guys. Bye bye.